The timeline refreshed. The fandom went silent. In an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down. BTS just declared war on the Grammys, and honestly, they're done forever. Welcome to Starscope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, we've gathered just a massive stack of sources to make sense of this absolute industry earthquake.
Oh, it really is an earthquake.
Right. I mean, we're looking at official press releases from HYBE, translated threads from domestic Korean forums, and defensive statements straight from the Recording Academy.
Plus, some really interesting corporate job postings from JYP Entertainment.
Exactly. Our mission today is to understand the mechanics of leverage, you know? Like, we are watching how the biggest stars in the world are finally realizing they hold enough power to rewrite the rules of the global music industry.
So let's just get right into the headline that basically shattered the internet on July 29th.
Yes, let's do it.
The members of BTS, so RM, Jimin, Jin, Jungkook, J-Hope, Suga, and V, posted these highly coordinated statements across all their individual social media accounts.
Which is always a sign that something massive is coming.
Oh, completely. And they announced they will absolutely not submit their highly anticipated fifth studio album, Arirang, or any of its tracks for the 2027 Grammy Awards.
Yeah, meaning the 69th annual ceremony is facing a total, undeniable boycott from literally the biggest pop group on the planet.
Right. And, you know, the sheer weight of that decision really cannot be overstated.
No, it can't. Like, when those notifications hit, the collective gasp from the global fandom was basically deafening.
I can only imagine.
But it was really RM's statement that cut to the structural core of the whole issue. He wrote, "We hope music can be heard and loved for itself, beyond regions or languages."
Wow.
Right. It's a very polite, incredibly measured way of delivering a devastating critique of how Western institutions categorize global art.
It really is.
Yeah.
But let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Sure, go for it.
Because to understand the catalyst for this, we have to look at what the Grammys actually did back in mid-June.
The new category.
Exactly. The Recording Academy proudly announced the creation of a brand new category called Best Asian Pop Music Performance.
Right.
And they stated this was for works originating from the Asian market. So they specifically highlighted K-pop, J-pop, and C-pop.
Yeah, and it requires the meaningful use of one or more Asian languages.
Right. So to a casual outsider, that actually sounds like a massive victory.
Whoa.
Like they are literally carving out a space for Asian artists on the biggest night in music. So why on earth is this sparking a war?
Well, because mechanically it functions as a poison chalice.
Oh, a poison chalice. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the intense emotion pouring out from domestic Korean netizens, the K-nets and international army-wise, they recognize this for what it actually is. A structural glass ceiling. Let's just look at how the Grammys actually operate. There are around 100 categories, right?
Right. There's a ton.
But only a handful belong to the prestigious general field. You know, album of the year, record of the year, song of the year.
The big ones.
Exactly. Those are the awards that get the primetime television slots, the main stage performances, the legacy-defining headlines.
Yeah.
Regional or highly specific genre awards. Those are usually handed out at the pre-ceremony, like hours before the cameras even start rolling.
Right. Okay. Think of it like this. Imagine the Grammys are a towering skyscraper.
Okay, I'm with you.
BTS has spent over a decade climbing the stairs, fighting through the industry, and they have finally reached the top floor.
They absolutely earned it, yeah.
But instead of letting them onto the roof with the rest of the global superstars, the Recording Academy decides to build a beautiful, brand new, luxury penthouse specifically for K-pop artists.
Which looks great on the outside.
Exactly. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. They locked the elevator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You can live in this beautiful penthouse, but you can never, ever reach the roof. If an artist shatters global records, why are they being put back into a regional box?
Exactly. And the fandom recognized that locked elevator immediately. And you have to understand how hardcore K-entertainment fandoms operate.
Oh, they don't play around.
No, they don't. You might have your favorite member, like your bias, but when the group is threatened, the entire fandom moves as a singular, highly organized unit.
Right.
The retaliation was just instantaneous. They didn't just trend hashtags like hashtag #WestStandWithBTS with BTS and hashtag proud of BTS. They literally weaponized the charts to make a geopolitical statement.
It was insane to watch. They took the BTS track Aliens, which is off that fifth studio album Arirang, and pushed it to #1 on iTunes in 78 different countries,
Which is just staggering.
including massive markets like the US and the UK. Structurally, coordinating a push that massive requires incredible logistical infrastructure from the fans.
Hitting #1 across all major platforms simultaneously like that, it's what the industry calls an all-kill.
An all-kill? Yeah. And the choice of Aliens wasn't an accident, was it?
Not at all. Aliens features production by Mike Will Made It, the legendary American hip-hop producer.
Oh, right.
And it is a track that deeply wrestles with their global identity and that feeling of being perpetual outsiders in Western spaces.
Wow, so the symbolism is heavy.
Very. By pushing that specific track to an all-kill, the fans validated the artist's decision to walk away from Western validation. The message is clear: BTS does not need the Grammys for global dominance.
Yeah.
The Grammys needed BTS for the television ratings and the social media engagement.
Honestly, facts.
Yeah.
And that is not even the wildest part of this boycott. Wait until you hear how the Grammys are trying to defend the indefensible.
Oh, the rulebook flaws?
Yeah. But first, if you love staying updated on your favorites and riding the Hallyu wave with us, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update.
Definitely do that.
So we have to look closely at the fine print of the Recording Academy's new rules, because the defense they are mounting is incredibly flimsy.
It really is.
Following the backlash, Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. released a statement. He claimed he was, quote, saddened by BTS's choice.
Of course he was.
Right. But he defended the new category by saying it celebrates the depth and diversity of Asian pop.
Yeah.
And he specifically argued that being nominated in a genre category doesn't stop artists from competing in the general field.
Right. He insists the categories are not mutually exclusive. He literally used the phrase, never to divide, but to expand.
Which sounds nice.
It sounds nice, sure. But let's look at how that actually functions in reality.
Okay.
The criteria for this new Best Asian Pop Music Performance category requires a meaningful use of an Asian language.
Right.
It explicitly excludes songs that only use Asian languages for isolated words or brief phrases, and it completely disqualifies songs sung entirely in English.
Okay, but who defines meaningful use?
Exactly. That is a problem. The Recording Academy is made up of roughly 15,000 voting members.
Yeah.
Demographically, that body is overwhelmingly Western and predominantly English-speaking.
Oh.
So you are asking a voting bloc that largely does not speak Korean to audit a song and determine if its Korean usage is meaningful enough to warrant inclusion.
That is just structurally absurd. Let's apply that rule to the actual music driving the Hallyu wave right now.
Please do.
The majority of the tracks on BTS's Arirang album, like the massive title track Swim, are predominantly in English.
Right.
This exposes a glaring contradiction. Would a fully English smash hit like Dynamite, a song that literally carried the pop music world through 2020, even qualify for this Asian pop category?
By their own written criteria, no, it would be entirely disqualified.
That's insane.
And this isn't just a theoretical problem either. We just watched this happen.
With who?
Take the track Golden from the K-pop Demon Hunters movie soundtrack.
Okay.
It was a massive commercial hit, heavily in English. It won Best Song Written for Visual Media.
Oh, right. I remember that.
But when it came to the general field for Song of the Year, it was completely shut out.
Just ignored.
Yep. Or look at Rosé from Blackpink. Her monumental collaboration with Bruno Mars, APT. Such a good song. Incredible song. It was heavily favored for Record of the Year and Best Pop Duo Group Performance. She went home entirely empty-handed.
Which is just wild to me.
Right. The Grammys are creating a segregated category for Asian artists, but writing linguistic rules that disqualify the exact crossover hits that actually dominate the global charts.
This brings us to a much larger historical pattern, though. If we look at the legacy of global artists resisting Grammy categorization, it becomes obvious that this isn't just a K-pop issue.
Oh, definitely not.
The mechanics of marginalization at award shows have been operating for decades.
The history of exclusion is honestly staggering. The voting bloc traditionally favors very conventional, Western-centric pop and ballads for the general field.
Right.
And they push culturally specific or genre-blending artists into side categories. Like in 1979, Michael Jackson's Off the Wall sold 20 million copies.
A masterpiece.
And it was completely ignored in the major categories. Or jump to 2017 Beyoncé's Lemonade, arguably the most culturally significant album of that year.
And it lost Album of the Year to Adele.
Exactly. The traditionalist voters favored Adele's conventional ballads. I mean, Adele actually broke her own trophy on stage because even she knew the systemic bias was glaring.
Right. And Jay-Z pointed this out live on stage at the 2024 Grammys.
Oh, that speech was legendary.
It really was. He accepted the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award and just laid out the mathematical hypocrisy of the Academy.
Yeah.
He pointed at Beyoncé and basically said she has more Grammys than everyone.
Yeah.
And never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work.
Exactly. And the pushback against being shoved into these genre boxes is exactly what BTS is echoing right now.
Oh, for sure.
Think back to Tyler, the creator, in 2020. He won Best Rap Album for iJor.
Great album.
Amazing album. But iJor wasn't purely a rap album. It was an incredibly complex, genre-bending pop and R&B project.
Right.
Backstage, he gave this remarkably candid interview. He said that whenever artists who look like him do anything genre-bending, the Academy throws them into a rap or urban category.
I remember that.
Yeah, he famously called the word urban a politically correct way to say the N-word. He stated that being placed in those categories feels like a backhanded compliment. He wanted to compete in pop.
We also have to talk about The Weeknd, too. In 2021, Blinding Lights was statistically one of the most successful songs in human history.
Oh, yeah, it was everywhere.
Everywhere. And he received 0 nominations. He called out the lack of transparency, the secret committees, and he permanently boycotted submitting his music.
Which was a huge deal.
Huge. So what we are seeing now is just a shifting of the goalposts. The framing of the discrimination has just evolved.
Exactly. The label is no longer urban.
Yeah.
The label is now Asian pop.
Yeah. But the mechanical ghettoization of the artist remains exactly the same. The demographic is just different.
Right. By refusing to submit Arirang, BTS is stepping directly into that legacy of resistance.
Totally.
They are establishing that they will not accept a segregated league when they have fundamentally proven they belong on the main stage.
Later in this episode, we're going to talk about a shocking plot twist regarding a legendary girl group that nobody saw coming. Are we about to see the end of an era?
Ooh, the Twice rumors. But before we get there, we really have to look at how the corporate boardrooms are scrambling to manage the fallout of this BTS boycott.
Right, because a group of artists drawing a line in the sand is a matter of artistic integrity. But a massive entertainment conglomerate navigating that line.
That's a matter of fiduciary duty.
Exactly. HYBE, the powerhouse agency behind BTS, found themselves walking an incredibly thin corporate tightrope here.
They really did.
They released an official statement clarifying that BTS's decision is not a company-wide boycott.
Yeah, a HYBE official explicitly stated other artists under the label will proceed with submissions if they wish to do so.
Right. They noted that BTS deliberated until the last minute, making a cautious move for the sake of the broader K-pop industry.
Which makes sense.
It does, but I have to ask, if this new category is so insulting, why wouldn't HYBE just mandate a label-wide boycott?
Well, it all comes down to the business mechanics of K-pop. BTS possesses a level of leverage that is almost unprecedented.
They don't need the exposure.
Exactly. They don't need the SEO boost of a Grammy nomination. They don't need the media cycle.
Right.
But HYBE manages several rookie groups who desperately need that Western exposure. A Grammy nomination, even in a flawed regional category, still opens doors for touring, brand deals, playlist placements for a younger group.
That's very true.
So HYBE has to protect the artistic integrity of their veterans while keeping the door open for their rookies.
What really stands out, though, is the sheer solidarity coming from outside the corporate structure. Like, specifically from other creatives.
Oh, the industry support has been amazing.
We already mentioned Mike Will made it, posting the track Aliens in support.
Yeah.
But you also have Maggie Kang, the director of the Netflix animated series Kpop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, she was publicly sharing the news with clapping emojis.
But the reaction that completely broke the internet came from Epic High's Tablo.
Oh my gosh, Tablo. He is an absolute legend in the industry.
A true senior artist.
Yeah, and someone who has been a massive inspiration to members of BTS since before your debut.
Right.
He took to social media and posted a very simple, brilliantly witty message, Arirang Grammys.
Which went ridiculously viral.
Ridiculously viral because for the fandom, seeing an idol's idol step up and publicly validate the boycott was just incredibly powerful.
It demonstrated that this wasn't just a fandom throwing an emotional tantrum.
Exactly. This is a deeply felt structural grievance recognized by veteran musicians who have been fighting these same battles for decades.
If you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you subscribe to Starscope K Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead.
Yes, we do.
Because speaking of this incredible leverage that top-tier artists now wield, it's not just affecting Western awards shows.
No, it's shaking up the very foundation of the Big Four labels back in Seoul. We have to look at what is happening over at JYP Entertainment.
The twice contract drummers.
The fandom is absolutely spiraling over this one. And honestly, if you look at the business mechanics at play, they have every reason to panic.
So Twice is approaching a massive contract renewal window.
Right.
And there are heavy, persistent rumors swirling that several members, specifically Jiho, Tzuyu, Chaeyoung, Jenongyeon, Sana, and Nayeon, might not renew their contracts.
Which would be huge.
Huge. They could leave JYP Entertainment after years of effectively carrying the company's financial weight.
And amidst all this tension, netizens uncovered a highly specific job listing posted on a corporate board by JYP.
Yeah, the timing of this listing is literally a masterclass in corporate panic.
It really is.
JYP posted an opening for an experienced actor-manager. But K-pop agencies operate like massive tech conglomerates.
Right, they are broken down into isolated divisions.
Exactly. So this job wasn't for the company at large. It was specifically for Stride, which is Division 3.
The exclusive division that manages Twice.
Yes. And the job description explicitly details managing the acting activities of all 9 Twice members.
Okay, but let me push back on the panic for a second.
Okay.
Why is an HR listing sending KNETs and international ONCEs into such a frenzy? If a group has been around this long, shouldn't they be branching out into acting anyway?
They should, but the scale is what makes this unprecedented.
Okay, how so?
To understand this, you have to look at the traditional life cycle of K-pop group, specifically around the infamous 7-year mark.
Right, the 7-year curse.
In South Korea, standard exclusive contracts are capped at 7 years by the Fair Trade Commission. So when a group hits that renewal period, when the maknae, the youngest member, reaches their mid-20s and the group has been active for years, the traditional pivot for longevity is acting.
Right.
But it usually starts slowly. The agency will push the visuals, the designated most conventionally attractive members, into drama roles first.
Yeah, we have already seen Dahyun venturing into acting, which is completely normal.
Exactly. But suddenly, scrambling to hire a dedicated manager to push all 9 members into acting simultaneously. KNETs are calling JYP absolutely desperate.
It functions like a corporate hostage negotiation.
Yes.
JYP is sitting at the negotiation table with these massive stars who finally realize their worth. And JYP is basically saying, look, we know you want to branch out. We know you want solo careers and drama roles.
Just don't leave.
Right. Instead of you leaving to sign with a dedicated acting agency, we will build an entire acting management infrastructure for you right here inside Division 3. Just please do not leave the company.
That is exactly the leverage dynamic at play. Because the logistical nightmare of a permanent group hiatus, that dreaded indefinite pause, is what JYP is terrified of.
Oh, absolutely.
If the members leave the agency to pursue acting elsewhere, coordinating a full group comeback with new music becomes a mathematical nightmare.
You would have to sync schedules across 9 different agencies just to record one album.
Which never works out perfectly.
Never. So by offering to manage their acting careers in-house, JYP is trying to keep the entire infrastructure centralized under one roof.
But fans are pointing out the obvious flaw here. If Dahyun has been acting for a while, why is the company only building this infrastructure now, right when contracts are expiring?
Oh, yeah, it just screams of last-minute damage control.
Whether it is HYBE navigating a global boycott with Western institutions, or JYP frantically building new internal divisions to keep their legendary girl group intact, We are watching the architecture of the Hallyu Wave shift in real time.
We really are. The artists are fully realizing their leverage, both in the boardrooms of Seoul and on the global stage in Los Angeles.
Which brings up a critical implication for you to think about as we wrap up this episode.
Yeah, because BTS just rejected the very Grammy trophy they were structurally guaranteed to win.
Exactly.
They proved that their ultimate goal is assimilation into the main stage, not domination of a segregated league built to keep them contained.
So here's a thought for you to mull over. If the biggest, most undeniable force in global pop music utterly refuses to play by the Recording Academy's rules, what happens next?
It's a great question.
Will Western award shows finally be forced to dismantle their regional categories entirely just to stay relevant?
Or will they double down, risking the loss of the massive cultural relevance, internet traffic, and viewership that K-pop brings to the table?
It is a high-stakes game of chicken. And based on everything we have seen today, the artists are not the ones blinking.
Definitely not.
You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu Wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.